Shake my hand, see, we have time. You in the moment. Well, out of. You got to give me a 466.2. So we have. Yep. I looked at your car, I'm sure there's something wrong with it. Like, cocktail. It's like.
Good evening. Welcome to the Township Council meeting, Monday, September 29, 2025. This meeting is now called to order. Mayor, would you please lead us in a salute to the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time, Madam Clerk, please read the statement of public notice.
Take notice that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with NJSA 10:4-8 and NJSA 10:4-10 as follows. A notice of the meeting was prominently posted on the bulletin board at the municipal building located at 225 Main Street, Little Falls, New Jersey on January 7th, 2025. A copy of the notice was sent to the North Jersey Herald and News and the Record on the same date. Additionally, a copy of the notice was filed in the office of the Township Clerk on said date. A link and a telephone number to join the meeting virtually can be accessed on the Township website at littlefallsnj.gov. Electronic provisions have been established for the public to participate during the public comment portion of the meeting.
Thank you. At this time, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Patel?
Present.
Councilmember Murphy?
Present.
Councilmember Hablitz,
Present.
Councilmember Vanchery?
Present.
Council President Scoba?
Present. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of August 25th, 2025?
So moved.
Moved by Councilwoman Patel,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Hablitz. Please call the roll for the minutes of August 25th, 2025.
Councilmember Patel?
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Hablitz,
Abstained.
Councilmember Vanchery?
Yes.
Council President Scoba?
Yes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of meeting of September 8th, 2025? So moved. Moved by Councilman Vanchery,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Patel. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Patel?
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Hablitz,
Yes.
Councilmember Vanchery?
Yes.
Council President Scoba?
Yes. At this time, Mayor Damiano, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Council President. Before I get into the proclamations this evening, I'm going to turn the meeting over for a few minutes to our CFO, Ann Sesnick, who's going to provide us with a report on the discussion of our best practices.
The best practices inventory is required to be filed every year. This has been completed by the previous CFO. We do have a passing score of 38 or 32 is required. There's one issue on here that we are curing prospectively this evening with the resolution setting up a storm recovery reserve. So that we'll take care of one issue, and another issue will be cured at the next meeting prospectively while we set up an accumulated absence liability trust fund. Other than that, it looks good and will be filed with the state.
Great. Thank you very much. Any questions from the council before we move on to the proclamations?
Would you like to discuss what the storm provision is?
It's a reserve. It's set up for snow, ice, and debris removal, and any unexpended balances budgeted annually for this recovery purpose can be lapsed into the reserve.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to the proclamations this evening. With September coming to an end, there are a couple of proclamations that I would like to read. The first of which is the National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month proclamation. And it reads, whereas September is known around the United States as National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month and is intended to help promote awareness surrounding each of the suicide prevention resources available to us in our community. And whereas suicidal thoughts can affect anyone regardless of age, gender, race, orientation, income level, religion, or background. And whereas, according to the CDC, each year more than 41,000 people die by suicide. And whereas suicide is the 10th leading cause of death among adults in the U.S. and the second leading cause of death among people aged 10 to 24. And whereas every member of our community should understand that throughout life's struggles, we all need the occasional reminder that we are all silently fighting our own battles. And whereas I encourage all residents to take the time to inquire as to the well-being of their family, friends, and neighbors, to genuinely convey their appreciation for them, which may go a long way in helping someone realize that suicide is not the answer. And now therefore be it resolved that I, Mayor James Belford Damiano, on behalf of the Little Falls Township Council, do hereby proclaim the month of September 2025 as National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month in the Township of Little Falls. The second proclamation this evening is Hispanic Heritage Month proclamation, which runs from September 15th through October 15th. And it reads, whereas Hispanic Heritage Month is an opportunity to celebrate the rich cultural traditions and honor the significant achievements of our Hispanic and Latino American communities. And whereas Hispanics are the largest ethnic minority group in the country and make valuable contributions to the Commonwealth in businesses, industry, government, education, the sciences, arts, and faith. And whereas Hispanic and Latino Americans have made enormous contributions to our diverse society by sharing their talents, culture, traditions, and their deep connection to family values and a commitment to faith and a desire to live the American dream. And whereas we honor Hispanic Americans and their many contributions, which strengthens our society as a whole. And now therefore be it resolved that I, Mayor James Belford Damiano, on behalf of the Little Falls Township Council, do hereby proclaim September 15th through October 15th, 2025 as Hispanic Heritage Month in the Township of Little Falls. And last but certainly not least is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month proclamation. And it reads, whereas childhood cancer is the leading cause of death by disease in children, and 1 in 285 children in the United States will be diagnosed by their 20th birthday. And whereas 46 children per day, or 16,790 children per year, are diagnosed with cancer in the U.S., and there are approximately 40,000 children on active treatment at any given time. And whereas the average age of diagnosis is 6 years old compared to 66 years for adults, cancer diagnosis in 80% of childhood cancer patients are diagnosed late and with metastatic disease. Whereas on average, there's been a 0.6% increase in incidence per year since the mid-1970s, resulting in an overall incidence increase of 24% over the last 40 years. And whereas 2/3 of childhood cancer patients will have chronic health conditions as a result of their treatment toxicity, with 1/4 being classified as severe to life-threatening. And whereas approximately 1/2 of childhood cancer families rate the associated financial toxicity due to out-of-pocket expenses as considerable to severe, and in the last 20 years, only 4 new drugs have been approved by the FDA to specifically treat childhood cancer. And whereas the National Cancer Institute recognizes the unique research needs of childhood cancer and the associated need of increased funding to carry this out, in hundreds of nonprofit organizations at the local and national level, including the American Childhood Cancer Organization, are helping children with cancer and their families cope through educational, emotional, and financial support. And whereas researchers and healthcare professionals work diligently, dedicating their expertise to treat and cure children with cancer. And whereas too many children are affected by this deadly disease, and more must be done to raise awareness and find a cure. And now therefore be it resolved that I, Mayor James Belford Damiano, on behalf of the Little Falls Township Council, do hereby proclaim the month of September 2025 as Childhood Cancer Awareness Month in the Township of Little Falls. Council President, that's all of the proclamations that I have this evening, but of course, I'd be happy as we move on to address the remainder of the agenda.
Thank you, Mayor, for reading those proclamations and recognizing those organizations. Let's, Councilman Murphy, lead us off.
Sure. Thank you, Council President. So Wednesday, October 1st is October, and we start also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So we're going to be kicking that off tomorrow night. I'm sorry. Yeah, tomorrow night, the 30th at 6 p.m. We have the Domestic Violence Awareness Committee that's going to be coming out, and we're going to be raising the flag. So all are welcome to join us. Once again, 6 p.m. in front of Town Hall. Should only be about 15, 20 minutes. So definitely try to stop by. Also, this Saturday, I know we have the PBA local Oktoberfest. We're going to have our Domestic Violence Awareness Committee booth there as well with some of our members. So definitely stop by the booth, check them out. We have some new material that we're handing out and some new swag that the committee has got. So definitely stop by, come check us out. And we're also going to be getting some of the ribbons put up in town this month. So a lot going on for the committee. Excited to be kicking it off with them. And that's all I have, Council President. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Vanchery.
Thanks, Council President. Yeah, just a reminder too, the Oktoberfest is this Saturday starting at 11 o'clock. So if people are around, please stop by. The PBA always puts on a great program for everyone. Some updates on my end. A couple weeks ago, we had the Real ID back in Little Falls. It was nice when you send an email to motor vehicles and say, hey, can we get the van back? How's Saturday? So we had a good response. And the one thing I will say is too, when it comes to the Real ID, because so many people right now are trying to schedule an appointment, they are literally stalking the website. So anytime a portal opens up, on average, it takes 10 to 12 minutes if you're lucky and it's completely full. So unfortunately, some people couldn't get it, but most were able to secure an appointment. I did reach out to motor vehicles and asked if we can have the van back in Little Falls in October. So just working on the details again to have it come here. So once I have more information, I'll send out the update, but just appreciate the help from the rec department, Tyler Pissarro, helped because it happened so fast. We had a couple days to turn things around, but we were able to get what we needed done. So just like I said, more to come on that. I do want to mention too, next Monday, right before our council meeting at 6 o'clock, we are going to have our annual Italian American Heritage Month flag raising. It'll be right outside. So if anybody's around next Monday at 6 p.m., there'll be a brief program because we have a council meeting that night. The members of the Passaic Valley Unico will be there as they are every year. We'll probably have some coffee, some nice little Italian cookies and pastries too before we start. So just if you're around next Monday at 6, please stop by. I did want to mention too, as I brought it up at the last meeting. One of the things that I've been doing with our transportation committee, as well as our traffic department with the Little Falls Police Department and DPW, is looking at spots in town that, signage needs to be added, as well as restriping of certain spots. And last Friday, we spent some time over by Stevens Ave to address some of the concerns that were there near School 1. And I'm pleased to say with the help of Corporal Panola, as well as the DPW department, we were able to restripe that area to get it back the way it should be previously from the streetscape, because unfortunately it was not corrected by the contractor when they did the job. So it's back to normal there. And then on Friday, if you notice certain parts of town, we actually did restripe several crosswalks. We looked at it as phase 1. Today I had a call with the DPW department to go through the current list of outstanding streets, and we're looking to submit a request to get those done as well. We're just trying to make everything uniform when it comes to striping the crosswalks, because we know how important they are. So more to come on that, but we're making some headway. Last thing I just wanted to mention before I turn it over to one of my colleagues is, Mayor, thank you for reading the proclamation for Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. It's near and dear to our heart in Little Falls, as you can see with the yellow I'm wearing tonight. It's in memory of our friend Liam Marquez, who we lost ago. And Town Hall's been lit up the last couple of weeks in yellow too, just to honor this awareness month. So that's it for me.
Councilman Vanchery, what do residents do with this ID besides traveling without their passport? Why do they need it? Why should they get it? To the 5 people that are paying attention to us today.
So the way the Real ID was set up, it's been a complete mess when it comes to kind of organizing this. I don't think if you ask any elected official in this state, they'll tell you it's a good thing. But the way it was set up, it's basically just happened after everything after 9/11, where they wanted to have a uniform ID and easy to kind of keep track of everyone's, licenses they go through. If you don't have the Real ID right now, you cannot fly in the US. You would need to bring your passport with you. So some people are like, you know what? I have a passport. I don't need to worry about it. I have my regular license. I don't need a Real ID. However, there are some people that don't have a passport, or their passport's expired, and then they're in a real tough predicament. And the challenge too was there was 4 extensions with this whole Real ID process. So you kept asking for more time, more time, more time. So that meant more people kept waiting and waiting. And then all of a sudden, the government finally said, that's it, no more extensions. We need to get this done. And now everyone is scrambling. And I can tell you, like, there's so many people on that portal every day checking that it crashes and it's always delayed because people are trying to find appointments anywhere. I know somebody in town who ended up down the shore for an appointment because that's what he was able to find. Because right now, you're not seeing any appointments till November, if not December and January. So it's a frustration for sure. They're trying to correct. Hopefully they'll get their act together, but it's a tough spot for people who want to have that real ID, but are frustrated because they can't get an appointment anytime soon.
Thank you. Councilwoman Havelitz?
Thank you, Council President. Just a few library updates. The library has launched a new YouTube channel. It is the Little Falls Public Library Historic Channel, and it is under LFPL Historic Channel on YouTube. It takes you around the state with Jeffrey from our library staff, going to great historic sites around the state. Wednesday, they will tour the Cedar Lawn Cemetery. October 1st, they will also have a Who Wants to Learn About Owls with Ranger Tim from Passaic County. That will be at 6:30. It's for 3rd grade and above, but you do have to register at the library website. The farmer's market's still going well. It's going to almost be the end of the season. There's about 4 more weeks. This Sunday, we will have NBC's own Produce Pete. He is a regular at the market for the last few seasons. He will be there signing autographs with his new book and there to talk about all things produce. So stop by the market. Also, we had our first open space meeting for the fall, discussing upcoming improvements to our parks, and we were joined by the Historic Society for a brief history of the Peckman Preserve. So thank you to John Vettery, the president, for his visit. Also, speaking of the Historic Society tomorrow night will host a dine and donate, which will be at Maggie's Town Tavern from 6 to 10 p.m. The funds raised will help to offset some of their programming that they have, as well as funds going towards our Old Town Hall, which is coming along very nicely. And then lastly, there's still time to sign up for our Spooky Sprints 5K. That will be October 19th at 9 a.m. Costumes are recommended, but not required, and you can sign up at runsignup.com. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Havelitz. Councilwoman Patel?
Thank you, Council President. Just a few quick updates. I do want to welcome 2 new members to the Public Health Committee, Julia Bood and Kathy Schieber. I'm looking forward to working with them along with the rest of the committee. Tomorrow, September 30th, from 1 to 5 p.m., the Clifton Health Department is partnering with Screen New Jersey to hold a free prostate cancer screening at Clifton City Hall for whomever wants to attend. They're also hosting a paint and sip at the Little Falls Civic Center in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. That's going to be on October 23rd at 6 p.m. And finally, the next public health meeting is going to be Wednesday, November 12th, and that's going to be at 6:30 at the Civic Center. That's all I have, Council President.
Thank you. Mayor, would you like to allude what happened to the historical system, the old police station, the grant that they got?
Yeah, we're very pleased to announce that the Historical Society received a grant in the amount of about $475,000, which will allow them to largely complete the construction of the building, the old police station and the old town hall. So we're very excited for this grant that they were able to secure. This will move them a very long way to the finish line, hopefully getting them across the finish line to make all of the improvements and repairs to the building to get it open and running. So we're very happy for them and very excited that they received this substantial grant to get that project completed.
Chief?
No report, sir.
October 10th is going to be our Oktoberfest. We're doing it at 12 o'clock at the Civic Center. Those that want to attend, please reach out to the rec center, or you could call me directly or call Cynthia Kraus. And we're going to have a great time, a lot of good food and music and dancing. We're also going to have our new community police officer there, Officer Conti. We're going to be welcoming him. And on October 15th, along with Totowa, we're going to be holding a senior scan program. Again, Officer Conti is going to be there. Hopefully the chief too will be able to attend. this is an important topic, as all the topics that you heard this evening are important. But this one to our senior is getting a lot of traction. And I think the chief can allude to that. This has picked up pace immensely with scams of credit card scams and loan scams to our seniors who are fallen victims to this. So this program has helped to educate them to avoid getting entrapped to those programs. Because once you do, it is a little bit chaotic to try to get your money back, even if it's a credit card or a loan. You have anything to say on that, Chief?
Yes, sir. Yes, I believe programs like this are important. When we analyze crime, one of the modern approaches is to kind of cut off the victims. So anything that we can do to educate the victims, so they don't fall victim, and ultimately, get ripped off or, get frauded, we're interested in doing that. We've had success in that, and a lot of these scams, unfortunately, come from overseas, and the perpetrators are very difficult for us to get to bring to justice. So anything that we can do to educate the public. And I just remembered something, Council President. This is week 2 of our Senior Citizen Police Academy. So I'm sure that there's some people that are in the senior advisory, and they are in attendance. So we are being successful on that front. And one of the parts of the curriculum for the Senior Police Academy is crime prevention techniques and things people can do to kind of protect themselves from being scammed. And, we want to give a plug back to that because, I think we ended up with about 10 senior citizens that were interested. We're going to look to offer it again. So if you missed your opportunity, we encourage all the residents to reach out to Officer Conti or the police department directly to get information for our next offering of the Senior Citizen Police Academy.
Thanks, Chief. Have a motion to open the meeting to the public for agenda items only.
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Murphy, second by Councilman Hablitz. So voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Madam Clerk.
Anyone wishing to address the Township Council may do so through the Council President. It is preferred if you give your name and address for the record. Comments are to be limited to 3 minutes. However, if appropriate, you may be granted additional time in the sole discretion of the Council President. Members of the public who have joined the meeting virtually and desire to provide comment shall raise their virtual hand in the Zoom application. The meeting moderator will cue the members of the public that wish to provide comment, and the Council President will recognize them in order. Members of the public who have joined the meeting by calling in must press *6 to mute and unmute themselves and *9 to raise their hand. Members of the public who have joined the meeting via the Zoom application must click the reactions icon and then the raise hand icon. Once the process is complete, we will return to the regular order of business.
Thank you. Anyone like to come forward? Have a motion to close the public?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Vanchery, second by Councilwoman Patel. Was that? Thank you. Please call the roll.
Councilmember-
I'm sorry, that's a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Does any council member have any problems with any issues with any of the consent agenda before we vote on it? I know it's quite large. Have a motion to approve the consent agenda. So moved by Councilman Vanchery, second by Councilwoman Patel. Madam Clerk, please call the roll for the consent agenda.
Councilmember Patel?
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Hablitz?
Yes.
Councilmember Vanchery?
Yes.
Council President Scoba.
Yes, we are going to pull ordinance 1525. Do we have to announce that's going to be at the next meeting, Counselor?
Yes.
Okay. So our next meeting is next Monday. So we'll be hearing that next Monday. Madam Clerk, please read ordinance 1526.
Second reading and public hearing of ordinance number 1526, an ordinance entitled 2025 Little Falls Salary Ordinance.
The public hearing on ordinance 1526 is now open. Does anyone wish to speak on 1526? Seeing no one come forward to speak on ordinance 1526, the public hearing ordinance is now closed. Have a motion to adopt 1526.
So moved.
Moved by Councilwoman Hablitz.
Second.
Second by Councilman Vanchery. Please call the roll to adopt 1526.
Councilmember Patel?
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Hablitz?
Yes.
Councilmember Vanchery?
Yes.
Council President Scoba.
Yes, Madam Clerk, 1527.
Second reading and public hearing of bond ordinance number 1527, an ordinance entitled Bond Ordinance to Authorize the Acquisition of a New Ambulance in by and for the Township of Little Falls in the County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $480,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
Thank you. The public hearing on ordinance 1527 is now open. Does anyone wish to speak on 1527? Seeing no one come before us to speak on 1527, the hearing on ordinance 1527 is now closed. Can I have a motion to adopt ordinance 1527?
So moved.
Moved by Councilwoman Hablitz, second by Councilman Vanchery. Madam Clerk, call the roll on 1527.
Councilmember Patel?
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Hablitz, Councilmember Vanchery?
Yes.
Council President Scoba.
Yes. Madam Clerk, 1528, please.
Second reading and public hearing of bond ordinance number 1528, an ordinance entitled Bond Ordinance to authorize the acquisition of new additional or replacement equipment and machinery, new communication and signal systems equipment, and a new automotive vehicle, including original apparatus and equipment in, by, and for the Township of Little Falls in the County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $564,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
Thank you. The public hearing on 1528 is now open. Does anyone wish to speak on 1528? Seeing no one come before us to speak, the public hearing on ordinance 1528 is now closed. Can I have a motion to adopt ordinance 1528?
So moved.
Moved by Councilwoman Patel, second by Councilwoman Hablitz. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Patel?
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Hablitz, Councilmember Vanchery?
Yes.
Council President Scoba.
Yes, can I have a motion to open the meeting to public and general matters?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Vanchery,
Second.
second by Councilman Murphy. Madam Clerk, please read the statement.
Anyone wishing to address the Township Council may do so through the Council President. It is preferred if you give your name and address for the record. Comments are to be limited to 3 minutes. However, if appropriate, you may be granted additional time in the sole discretion of the Council President. Members of the public who have joined the meeting virtually and desire to provide comment shall raise their virtual hand in the Zoom application. Meeting moderator will cue the members of the public that wish to provide comment, and the Council President will recognize them in order. Members of the public who have joined the meeting by calling in must press *6 to mute and unmute themselves and *9 to raise their hand. Members of the public who have joined the meeting via the Zoom application must click the reactions icon and then the raise hand type icon. Once the process is complete, we will return to the regular order of business.
Thank you. Sir, are you here to talk about the chicken ordinance? Even though we pulled it, can you speak on it? Yes.
If he wants to,
Right.
but
We're not voting on the ordinance tonight, but you're welcome to speak on it.
just so you're aware, sir, the vote on the ordinance has been adjourned to the next meeting, which is next Monday. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So next Monday is when the ordinance will be back up for a vote before the council. The council's taking no action on the proposed ordinance tonight, just so you're aware.
The Township website. I'm sorry, the ordinance is on the Township website. So if you look at the agenda for tonight's council meeting, and then also when we post the next agenda on October 6th, you'll see the ordinance listed under the items there with the agenda.
We can also talk to you after the
Yes.
meeting.
You have the ordinance in the back of the room as well, if you'd like to take one.
Do you want to speak on it, sir?
Excuse me, Madam Clerk.
Yes.
But there are
Wait one
going to
second.
be there are going to be addendums to that ordinance for next council meeting.
Right, just so you're,
So what he's reading would not be what is correct. or
Correct,
what-
that's
Right.
right.
That is not the corrected version.
Right, the one that's posted on October 6th on the website will be the corrected version. That
No,
will be
so-
posted.
Okay, one at a time. Counselor, explain the process because it's a
So-
little confusing.
So here's how this works. In order for an ordinance to get passed, there is a first reading and a second reading on two different council meeting dates. There was a first reading and there would have been a second reading, but the council has decided that the ordinance needs some further review. So it was relisted for tonight, and the council still believes there's further review that has to be done. So between now and Monday night's meeting, there are going to be revisions suggested by the council that I will, or the city or the municipal clerk will make amendments to the ordinance. And then that ordinance as amended will be posted on the city's Township's website before the Monday night meeting. There will also be copies brought to Monday night's meeting, but the meeting agenda is usually posted with the attachments Friday afternoon. So if you're looking at the website this Friday afternoon, that will probably be the time to look and see what the ordinance looks like at that point. Correct. The proposed ordinance that would be considered by the council for a vote next Monday night.
Sir, if you don't mind, come up to the
Yeah,
podium.
right,
Just,
yeah.
I'm sorry, we have to get you on the record. Your
Yeah,
name,
what-
sir?
And then next Monday when I come.
I'm sorry, your name?
Adam
Adam, last name?
Pasakowski.
Thank you.
So next week, Monday, when I come here with my neighbor Carlos.
Mhm.
So it will be the same process. We can read it and we can discuss it further and.
Right.
Right. So next Monday night, what will happen is between now and next Monday night, there may be amendments, likely be amendments to the ordinance, which will cause the ordinance to be revised. That revised ordinance will be posted Friday afternoon or thereabouts on the township's website, along with the township council's agenda. So you'll be able to see it then. At the meeting Monday night, there will also be copies in the back, just like there are tonight, for anyone coming in to review. When the council hears the matter, the council will open it up for a public hearing, which means at that point, you would be allowed, your neighbor or any interested member of the public would be allowed to come up and state their opinion, input on the ordinance. And the council will then engage accordingly. And that night, they may or may not take a vote on the ordinance.
Very good.
Does that
Thank
clear
you.
up your question, sir?
Yep.
Okay.
It does. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I have a motion to close the public comment?
So moved.
Moved by Councilwoman Patel,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Hablitz. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Thank you, staff, for assisting me in putting on this agenda. Can I have a motion to adjourn this meeting? Moved by Councilman Vanchery,
Second.
second by Councilman Murphy. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? This meeting is now closed.
Okay.